Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, actually,
Damn. That is.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep.
I'm talking to chat.
Yep, there it is. It came through.
Okay.
So.
All right.
You're good.
Let me start over. All right, so welcome back, session 12, Broad Strokes. We have a community challenge going on right now. It's 250,000 points, doable with 20 people donating 2,000 points for the next 6 sessions. There will be 6 sessions by the time this expires. This channel community challenge thing goes towards the war effort as donations for Krun's military, the CDF, to fight off the Talion Crusade. This phase of donations will go towards recruitment bonuses and training for new recruits for the next phase of the war. I have already rolled for the next phase of the war. And what this does is this modifies that roll. Okay? So, get your friends in here, earn channel points, donate points to the war effort. Okay, with that being said, we're gonna move on to the next part of this. I should have known that the mic was fucked up because I had to fix it in Discord, and then my brain should have went, if you have to fix it in Discord, you have to fix it in OBS. I didn't. My brain didn't think that. Anyway, let me introduce our players for the evening. We have Alethana, who is playing Praxia. Go ahead and say hi.
Hello.
Okay, we have Darrow, who is playing Mordecai.
Yo.
We have Lee, who's playing Ben.
Good evening.
We have Volpine Matron, who's playing Greg.
Hello.
We have Zed, who's playing Edelweiss.
Hello.
Last we left off, the party had wandered into a temple that is far underground in the Bloodfell Mountains, what are also known as the Bloody Foothills. They descended into a river of flame and destroyed elementals there. They followed the darkness towards a entryway that demanded a ritual of them to proceed further. Unfortunately, there's no way back or around this obstacle, as they have been pursued doggedly by the Blade of Endless Suffering, Ekragad the Impaler's troops, for the past month or half a month. So we are now at an impasse. Either they proceed further into what is known as the Lightless Palace, or they give up.
Of course, now we're being pursued by the other army too, assumedly.
The next thing I want to do before we get started fully is, Ben, you had some things you want to do before from the prior session, but you weren't here for it. So we've talked about some of it. What would you like to do?
I suppose, yes, the primary thing would be giving my own shot at the knowledge checks about those statues and this lightless palace. And then there would be a ritual casting of augury to try and just gain a bit more guidance on the right path forward.
Okay.
So
Which would you like to do first?
I think the knowledge checks first.
About the statues? Okay. So just to give context, I'll activate the map for that particular area. None of you are on this map right now, but I will disable vision for the scene. So if you haven't refreshed your page, refresh your page real quick. So there were 3 statues, one here, one here, and one here. Can you see that, Lee?
Yes.
Okay, which one would you like to roll a knowledge check on first?
Say, we'll start with this one.
Okay, with the demon statue. And what kind of check would you like to roll?
I suppose procedurally the steps Ben would go would be understanding if he recognizes it from any of the stories and lore his mother has taught him, which would either fall under, I think, Arcana or History.
Mm-hmm.
If not that, then any of the further things he knows under religion.
Okay. So are you leaning more towards like a stories and tales kind of perspective, or a knowledge of the universe metaphysics perspective for that first check?
I think metaphysics.
Arcana check then.
All right. $18.
18. So this demon is of a type that you have no knowledge of. You're unaware of what this kind of demon is. It is positioned here in a fashion that begets a purpose of some kind. It is made of stone from the surrounding area. However, it is much older than it appears. It appears to be clean as well. No dust or grime has settled upon it. It is not well worn by erosion or any of the elements, so time has not touched it. It kind of gives off a bad vibe, or a heebie-jeebie, if you will, as you get close to it. This sense of heebie-jeebies doesn't really leave you until you get a little bit farther from it. But with an 18, not a whole lot here. It's some kind of demon that you're unfamiliar with.
All right. I think I'll move to the angel next.
Okay. Same check if you'd like.
Mhm.
21. 21. This angel is here not as a point of opposition, which you were taught these two forces hate each other, right? They're enemies. This angel's not positioned in a place of opposition. It is flanking the other being, but it is facing the same direction. Normally, if you would expect from a sort of art analytics perspective, these two would be facing each other in opposition. They're standing together. You don't really know a whole lot about angels and what the various kinds are. You know that they are stratified in the same fashion that demons are. where you have a lower order, a middle order, and an upper order. But you don't know. For all of intents and purposes, the Light Gods have a very good PR team, and they don't talk a whole lot about what their side of things is really like. The Dark Gods couldn't give a shit. Who knows what their side of things is like? They keep their secrets, but they do tell people, hey, we've got this big badass who's gonna, put you in the ground really, really badly. And we don't mind sharing it with you. They don't talk about that with the Light Gods. They don't talk about who their heavy hitters are. They don't talk about, what their various kinds of angels are. They don't go letting themselves be documented like that. So you did have a very high roll. And that's kind of what you're getting out of it.
And yes, the final statue here.
This one's more of a history check.
All right.
It is a man on a horse. A knightly sort of figure, clad in armor.
That's a 9.
You don't know who this is, but from its positioning, it's positioned in opposition to the others.
The angel and the demon together.
Yes. Mordecai, I believe, mentioned that it seems to be a symbol of humanity uniting against its enemies.
I see. All right. And then, as it is the daytime, the augury spell takes on a bit of a different appearance.
Did you want to cast this here, up in the overworld, or did you want to cast it underground?
I think actually once we've reached that point.
Okay, where underground? Did you want to cast it in the River of Flame, or did you want to cast it here in the temple?
In the temple, I think.
Okay. Okay. Before the long rest or after the long rest?
Before.
All right, then we will pick up here.
Right.
And yes, I did stop the music.
It's quiet.
You go ahead and cast your spell.
So I will be doing it as a ritual. Just to recoup that spell slot just in case. Yeah, I think the question Ben will be asking Star Dragon will be, should I enact my contingency? Will it bring weal or woe?
Could you message me the contingency?
Certainly.
Okay. And this is at the forefront of your mind while you're going through with the ritual.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I didn't mean to kick it out, but that's okay. I'm gonna just pause that right there. So, as you cast your spell, you push your awareness towards the Star Dragon, and as you feel yourself kind of trying to make this connection, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Right. $13.
Okay. As you're trying to connect, you feel your senses push towards the surface, towards the sky, and then you feel this presence of mind getting clawed out of the sky, out of the ethereal spaces of magic between physical things, and dragged into a crushing, lightless place. Your awareness passes into a darkness so profound and deep that nothing seems to escape it. You know you are passing by layers and layers of battlefields and coliseums and various other places where war is practiced. You feel this in your bones, and your presence is brought into the crushing center of this place, and you feel an isolation and loneliness so profound that it almost feels like you are both the only thing here and nothing at the same time. And then you hear the whispering voice, a voice that seems to be a charismatic, lilting, convincing. It says, "Your little plan to escape my generals will have no effect on what comes. You're in my domain now, little half-elf. We'll see what you are made of here." And then it releases you, and you are gone, and you're back in the temple. No worse for wear, but covered in a cold sweat, unable to catch your breath, unaware that you had been either not breathing at all or had it crushed out of you by the overwhelming gravity and pressure of the place your mind has just been. Most of your comrades are wounded or exhausted or poisoned like yourself from the toxic fumes of the River of Flames. It would be easy for you to cover up what you just experienced.
Yeah.
Did the wellspring energy of that feel any different than when Ben normally casts augury?
No, he just casts the spell. It's just what happened.
Okay.
By the way,
I
Ben,
didn't know if any of that effect spilled over into our world or not.
By the way, no, it didn't. By the way, Ben, I need you to make a sanity saving throw for what you have just come awareness to awareness with.
16.
16's good. You only failed by 4. You are rattled. Part of you believes now that there is a utility here.
Ben will... Sorry.
Go ahead.
I think Ben will approach the captain after casting the spell.
Mm-hmm. She's keeping watch on the stairs. She cannot see in here. It is a lightless place, truly. The only visible light is from these barriers.
Captain.
Yes. That's Ben, right?
Yes.
She puts her hand on your shoulder to kind of suss out where you are.
We talked about my contingency. I don't think it's gonna work anymore.
Well, certainly not here.
The horses are too close. We'll be caught too quickly.
If we get out through the other side, if there is another side, there has to be another side.
We can hope.
Then maybe. We gotta hold on to what we can right now, which is getting through whatever the fuck all this is.
All right. I think Ben is going to in the interest of making that happen, I'll start. Just make sure that we're not in such a sorry state if we're caught unawares while we sleep. And it's gonna activate Chalice and cast Aura of Vitality.
Okay.
So basically, everyone's pretty injured, right?
Greg and Mordecai are and Cyphershire are the most injured. You and the Shogun are moderately injured, and Edelweiss and Praxia are lightly injured.
Okay. I will start with Cyphershire. Basically, if it's lasting a minute, I can heal 2d6 plus 1d8 plus 4 10 times. So I'll do the first one on Cyphershire.
Mm-hmm.
Nine.
So Cyphershire gets back 9.
I'll give her one more of those.
Plus 7.
I will give myself one.
Okay.
17.
Really,
I'll...
really whipping it here for Cyphershire, huh?
I know. I'll do... That's the third one, so I'll do one on Mordecai.
Okay.
Thank you.
16. I'll do one on Greg. That's the fourth one. 17. I'll do one on the Shogun. That's the fifth one. 15. I'll do one on Edelweiss. That's the seventh one. 9.
Edelweiss is at max.
Okay. I'll do one on Praxia. That's the 8th one.
Praxia is at max.
Okay. I will do 9th one on Cyphershire.
Okay. Plus 9.
Who looks the most injured now still?
Greg and Mordecai are about neck and neck.
Okay.
Take a little bit of a beating.
I can actually, what I can do is I can split it. So I'll do 2d6 on Greg.
Okay.
For 7, and 1d8 plus 4. For Mordecai. Another 5.
Okay.
Ben sort of sits down and the cobblestones sort of sprout these tiny roots, and he grasps them, and these sort of pulses of green light travel across the ground to each member of the party. All right.
Yeah, thank you, good sir.
Is there this poison? Am I able to discern basically whether or not it's going to wear off with time or needs like treatment?
It'll wear off with time. It was from the toxic volcanic gases from the River of Flame.
Right. I think then I will save the rest for now.
Okay. The party was going to try to get a long rest here. Anything else before the long rest is rolled?
Yeah, now that we have Ben back, I'm assuming Ben caught up on the all the text that we found. So my question is, you seem to know a goodly bit about a variety of topics. Does any of this stuff, I point at both the thing in the middle of the room as well as the two things on the wall, does any of this stuff make any sense to you? Or at all ring any bells?
Right.
You need to refresh on those lore documents. They're in the player journal under
Oh,
lore
they're-
documents under IHR.
Right. But it is in demonic. I presume it's in demonic, which is why I can't read it.
Yep.
Okay. But Mordecai has given us a translation, I presume.
Proxia gave you a translation thanks to tongues. Or not tongues, comprehend languages.
Yep.
Okay. In which case, I do have what you sent me previously.
Great.
So yeah, I suppose. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to lesser restoration myself to remove the poison condition,
Okay.
just so I can think more clearly. And then I'm going to. Would it be an Arcana check to try and ascertain what kind of ritual is implied here?
Yeah, you could do either Arcana or Religion here. These would give you two different answers, depending on which roll you make.
Right. Okay. Has anyone tried an Arcana before?
Yeah.
I think someone has. I don't remember who.
I believe Praxia rolled 1 billion checks in here.
Probably, I tend to do that.
Somewhere upwards of 1 billion checks. I think it was like 900 million checks. So,
All right.
Yes.
pretty close to 1 billion. Yeah.
I will start. Well, I'll start with enhance ability intelligence.
Okay.
And then I'll start with an Arcana check to try and figure out what just my understanding of ritual magic maybe could tell me about these reliefs and what they want from us.
Sure.
$25.
They are an instruction set, basically on how to proceed further. The instruction set doesn't necessarily require people to be of the faith or to be. With a 25, I'll say it doesn't. It also does not require the people to be of the descriptor, just to take on that mantle. And that is pretty much it. It is a ritual that will release these first force fields that will have an effect that basically marks all of you who participate. as participants in whatever grand ritual is the rest of this temple. You're getting the impression that the whole temple is one big ritual. For some,
Sorry,
the whole temple is one big ritual, and this is just the first step.
I see.
So there will be other steps to the ritual further in, but this is the first step, and these are the first sets of instructions. It's like page 1 of the manual here. It doesn't necessarily require you to be of the faithful, but it does require you to do the things that the faithful would be doing anyway. So that said, you also know, just from feeling the energy in the room and from discussion from last session, that trying to bypass these shields through a means other than the ritual will have a backlash effect that will render you or whoever tried to interfere with it dead. And that is also what all the dust on the floor is about.
All right. In which case, do we have basically these reliefs, we understand sort of the steps we need to take to mark ourselves as members of the ritual?
Yeah, you just need to spill some of your blood in the bowl and read from read the text aloud. Claim the position.
I also know last week you guys were talking about who would represent whom in which members of which numbers. Is it still like I would be 1? Do we want to do Crow for 2, Mordecai for 3, Ed for 4, Greg for 5, and then Praxia for 6?
Well, you guys figure that out. I'll be right back.
Yeah, the other interesting question then is, do our other party members, Shogun, Sakurai, Provoxia, do they get to come along with us if they're not among the 6 enumerated ones, or do we end up having to leave them here?
We'll learn if one gets vaporized.
I think that at least from what CJ just said, this is about the process of progression is about disabling these fields. So ostensibly, once
Does
the
it
field has
disable
been disabled,
Yeah.
anyone
But
can
does
pass
it
through it.
disable it? Okay. That's what I was wondering. Does it disable it for everyone, or does it only disable it for those that are participating?
Well, we'll obviously have to see what it looks like once we've completed the first step. But if it looks like it flickers into nothingness, then we can probably be confident it does. But if it looks like it changes us so that we might pass through it safely, then perhaps not.
Do we invite them to participate in the ritual as well and add their blood to the bowl, even though there's only 6 enumerated in the passage?
Improvising rituals generally ain't the... Ben would be against it. Ben would also be very much against including Cypher Shy or the Shogun in the ritual.
Definitely.
Agreed.
It wasn't anything that I would have espoused either. Trying to figure out the how much of this is the letter of the law and how much of this is the intent of the law.
Oh no. My computer froze for a second, sorry.
It doesn't say anywhere that we only need those. That's because we need those. I mean, we can assume that means we can't have others, but On the other hand, it doesn't explicitly say that we can't. Either way, we shouldn't do this until the other side of the long rest.
Indeed.
I agree.
Yeah, recovering our, getting our resources back before we begin to invoke whatever this ritual is probably a good idea. Yeah, and what did your augury have to say for us? Did we draw a wheel or whoa?
This is the only viable path forward, it seems, for now.
I think we all pretty much suspected as much, although it doesn't hurt to have some form of divine confirmation of that.
Fine. Who do you think I'm asking?
Well, augury normally, at least in my understanding, augury normally involved asking some sort of divine divinity or something of that sort to give you an indication of the future.
You think gods are gonna help us?
And never know.
Well, I ain't asking gods.
I, for one, don't know how I feel about asking anything else for help at this point. Supernatural or no.
Ben gives Mordecai a look.
Don't look at me like that.
Right. Alright. If we ain't got anything else to do for now.
You Mordecai, you did get that inspiration earlier to read what the entrance over the doorway said. So, your connection to other powers seems pretty secure at the moment.
What other powers? I studied it in school.
I roll my eyes, considering us asking you to read one of the things on the wall, but like, okay, no, this is silly. Like, the rest of the party may believe that. Praxia is definitely not believing that. I don't think Ben's believing that either. So,
Not particularly.
Alright, what are you guys doing? You guys bedding down for your long rest?
I believe so.
I think so, yeah.
Alright.
Edelweiss
May-
is staying close to Praxia.
You may roll your long rest.
yay!
Yay.
And you will update a couple of us.
For what?
Our exhaustion level.
Oh, yes. Well, of course. You don't need to remind me to do that.
Imagine that.
Oh, good to not almost be dead. I'll tell you right now.
For important things like that, you don't necessarily just take for granted that the DM will remember and take care of it.
You can take for granted that I will remember to take care of it. If it's applicable.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if we ever talked about this, but do I have any scars from the that last fight?
Scars? Yeah, probably.
Like actual burn scars, I would imagine, because
Oh, that's where it is.
I got chomped by a fire thingy.
Why am I still encumbered?
Because you still have crap in your inventory.
Well, I meant to put the
This needs to be
what is it,
zeroed.
plates with the
There you go.
other things. There you go.
I zeroed out the weight on your Great Weapon Master option. Okay. Yeah, you probably do have some horrific burns, Mordecai.
Yeah. It's I'm looking a little crispy.
You are both. Your exhaustion levels have gone down by 1.
Yay!
I believe your concentration will have faded from your enhanced ability spell. If you have not rolled your long rest, you should do so now. Okay. Alright. The scene is still yours, everyone.
Ooh. Well, Greg can't see anything, so I don't know. It's up to Deep Blue can see.
I'd like to whisper, sort of in the, almost in the back of my throat. Hey, you still there?
Hold on.
Perception check. So there is someone right beside you.
Yeah, are you doing it right next to everyone?
No, I think I would have walked away. That was just me.
I'm about to say you're right here next to all of us.
Ben just, I imagine Ben just looks at me and says, yeah, hi.
Yeah, I'm here, everybody. Hi. Sorry. Yes. So, as you ask that, Mordecai, you first see the presence in the mirrored golden walls of the room. That's where you first see her, kind of stretching as if she has just woken up from a long nap, and then you feel her presence next to you, and she says, "I wouldn't abandon you here. But I'm glad you all weren't brash and stupid enough to proceed while I was resting."
I meant to ask about that.
Until I'm free from my confines, it is a great deal of effort to affect things outside of you, my dear Mordecai. The sooner I am free, the more I can help you. In the meantime, we find ourselves in a little bit of a pickle. It's a thing you people say when things are in a jar, I think, full of vinegar and stuff, and turn, what, ripe? Sour?
Wait. Have you never tried a pickle?
I don't need to eat, Mordecai. I only do it for fun.
But, I mean, if you do it for fun, you've never had a pickle.
Where would I get a pickle?
Anywhere.
I don't believe that they're just lying around on the ground, okay? I don't believe that. It's stupid.
I'm going to have to show you what a pickle tastes like, aren't I?
Want pickles? I got some.
Oh, you've got pickles, aren't you?
Well, I mean, they're pickled hogweed because that's one of the ingredients in making healing potions. But I do have a pickling solution.
I don't know if that's as edible as we're looking for here, but
Pickled
appreciate
hogweed?
the
It's
notion.
delicious.
Do I know if pickled hogweed is actually delicious?
I mean, in real life, it is one of the primary ingredients in borscht.
Yeah, so it's probably
Never
pretty...
had
I've
borscht.
never had borscht, but it's probably tasty on a level. It might be an acquired taste, but I've never had borscht, so I can't say.
Sure, why not? I'll take. Do you offer me the pickled
Yeah,
hogweed?
I'll give you a small
Yeah,
bundle, sort of tied up with a stem and slightly wet from a pickling solution.
So wait, can you? And I'm gonna kind of walk away and say this. Wait, can you like eat this, or do I need to eat it and you experience it through me? Like, how does this work?
Mordecai, sometimes I wonder about you. Do you think I can eat things as I am right now? What did
you
I
said you could.
just say? I just said that takes a great deal of effort to interact with things outside of you right now.
Wait, so if it's inside of me, then that makes it easier for you.
Your words, Mordecai. Your words. Eat the damn
You
things
say so,
before-
and I'm just gonna pop some of it in my mouth.
Okay. She just said, as you're doing that, she says, eat the damn things before you draw attention to yourself.
Anyway. So yeah.
Okay, the captain says, what are we doing? What's the plan here?
I believe, Captain, we're about to enter as participants in the ritual that'll allow us to proceed forward.
Gods, I hate every word of that sentence. Okay. Not like we have any choice.
Ben, from what they did, they researched yesterday. Ben will approach the goblet, and so basically, out of character to understand, Ben gives some drops of blood and recites, "I am one for Elvenkind, inheritors of power."
Okay. When you do that, there seems to be a thrumming in the bowl, as if something has been started.
Does it light up?
It does not light up.
Darn. How can us blindies find it then?
How can us blindies find it? There are people in the room that can see. Rely upon your friends.
I am holding the kitty's hand.
Okay. Anyone
I
go
guess
next?
she leads me over. Alphon is muted.
Well, I'm further down the line, so.
Oh.
But I help you get to the ball if okay, it's over here. So that way you will be oriented.
Yeah, I don't know what the line is.
Ben is going to use Produce Flame to start shedding light for 20 feet.
Is this a cantrip?
Yeah.
Okay. As you produce flame, the lights are snuffed from it. The flames are still there, so you still have the heat of this thing, but the radiated light is gone.
Well,
Oh
that's
god,
annoying.
finally it works. I just had to force reset my entire browser to make the map appear.
Oh, there you go. Progress.
I don't like that took me 30 minutes.
The next line on the table is, I am 2 for Dragonkind, Inheritors of Wisdom.
Which assumedly is, we need to somehow get Crow to speak.
Crow can speak. Ben will move to Crow and, using the staff, speak with animals. Buddy,
Oh.
we need your help. Could
Oh.
you do a solid and nip a little bit into one of your paws and drop some blood in there and say the words, I am 2 for Dragonkind, Inheritors of Wisdom?
Make a persuasion check.
Will do.
If I can, I'd like to help at least by, kind of standing next to Ben, because at least, Crow seems to respect my opinion.
Sure.
Yeah.
Alright. Natural 20.
Wow.
Oh,
He looks up at you, Mordecai, and you know he's only doing it for you.
Aww.
Every fiber of his being wants to run away from this place. He is in a fear position 100% right now, but he does it for you. I am 2 for Dragonkind, Inheritors of Wisdom.
I want to crit that so bad.
Good job, buddy.
He looks extremely uncomfortable and unhappy.
I'm gonna pet his head.
Okay, the next one is I am 3 for Humankind, Inheritors of Justice.
That was you, Mordecai, ain't it?
Yes, I'm gonna go ahead and walk on up. And I will do the same. I am 3 for Humankind, Inheritors of Justice, as I drop some blood in.
You see Catraxia shaking her head. The next one is I am 4, Declarant of the Dead.
Oh,
But
I
kinda
am
back
4,
away.
Declarant of the Dead. Fuck.
You got it?
Yes.
And the next one is I am 5, Herald of the Hated.
Was that Praxia or?
Greg will stumble up. Assume not stumble. She's gonna do like a gator crawl up there because it's safer.
Yeah. Gator crawl across the floor.
Just, like bite her. She's gonna bite down on her tongue for the blood.
Okay.
I am 5, Herald of the Hated.
Okay. The next line is I am 6, Imperator of the Imprisoned.
Okay, so time to add a little blood to the cauldron. Following Greg's example there, I can bite my tongue a bit and add some blood to the bowl. And now I forgot the line. Oh. Oh, fuck.
I am 6, Imperator of the Imprisoned.
I am 6, Imperator of the Imprisoned.
Okay. And then the next 4 lines need to be said.
Together,
Up to you
the
guys.
blood of 6 souls calls for the end. Bring about the black tide, the pain everlasting. Into the dark sea we all descend.
As you do that, you hear a roar in the depths. And there is a wind that blows through.
Oh no.
Ben will stick their bow across the line.
Nothing happens to it.
Alright, then let's take a step over.
I'm gonna follow right behind him. I don't like this.
Let's get everyone on the
I-
other side of this line.
I help Edelweiss get across the line.
While you guys are crossing the line there, hold on. No, not that one. Sepshai and the captain speak together for a moment. The captain says, I cannot see anything in this blasted place, and I will not allow my men to go without me. Do you mind guiding me? Sepshai says, of course, Captain. I'll be your eyes in this dark and horrifying place. We might as well take the Shogun with us. She nods. And these 3 proceed as a group, with Saifashai in the lead. Ooh.
Once they catch up, I think Ben is going to look to the captain and look to Saifashai and say, Saifashai, you keep an eye on the Shogun there. I'll try something to help the captain out, and I will cast Dark Vision.
On the captain?
Yep.
Okay. This grants her 60 feet of dark vision. Okay.
8 hours, not concentration.
Okay. She suddenly blinks and can see in the dark. Okay. It's coming to me now, she says. There we go. Now I can see you.
She's gonna see like everyone standing up, but Greg on all 4s.
Greg, what are you doing? Are you okay?
I cannot see, Captain.
Oh. Oh. Can we fix that for Greg?
Yeah, it's gonna drain me quick, but sure. I will do another Dark Vision for Greg.
Okay. She says, well, better to have everybody see than not see. The Shogun says, I will be fine in the darkness. It is a practice we do for combat. I will be fine.
Of course. In which case, I will spend a third one for,
Edelweiss can see already.
Oh, who can't see? It was just Greg?
It was just
I
Greg.
thought Edelweiss can't see. That was the problem.
No, Edelweiss has a stone rune or something. I forgot what kind of rune it is, but it's a rune.
Okay. Oh, okay. In which case, we're good. I'll just spend the 2 then.
Which rune is it? Cloud? Is it cloud or stone? It is doody doody doo.
Yeah, stone.
Stone rune.
I was talking and I'm stupid because I forgot to unmute. I was saying, yeah, it's stone because stone giants in their little caves.
All right. Okay.
Perfect.
Where's
So if that's the case, why have you been having issues finding your way around here then? Just out of curiosity.
because before last session I hadn't turned it on. And now it's on.
Okay.
It's on this session.
Okay. Okay.
It's not something that automatically gets applied from your features. You have to manually turn it on. And the text for some of these features is super long, and I expect you guys to inform me of things when they're pertinent. And Edelweiss did last session, but we had just gotten here, and it wasn't really that important. Now it is.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Fair.
That makes.
Oh, so Edelweiss has been able to see. I'm just gonna say once she's past that, now she can see, so that makes sense.
Can I just say that I love the grayscale effect it does if your vision is like magically granted.
It's giving you grace. In most cases, it gives grayscale. In some cases, it doesn't. So for some people, it's really depends on like what they've got. So Catraxia, for example, has light amplification. So she can just. It's kind of like thermal vision for her. Whereas
the spell Dark Vision does it doesn't say that it gives black and white, so I believe it does give color, but I wouldn't have to get into the weeds about it.
that would be a case of, because it's not specific, it would default to what the normal is, and the normal for dark vision is black and white. In cases where it's specific, it lays out that it's in color.
Nah, I'm digging it.
I listen this direction and see if I hear anything,
Okay, make a perception check.
because I don't see much of anything. There's a room. It looks like there's a room there at some point, but I don't know if it's at all dangerous. Hey, wait a sec. This whole place is dangerous. See, and I'm still at disadvantage on skill checks.
Your exhaustion gives you disadvantage on ability, and your speed is halved. So
Okay.
not skill checks, ability checks.
Look, that wouldn't matter. I roll 2 1s.
2 1s. Nope, you don't hear anything. It's pretty quiet in this place, aside from the pervading wind.
Mordecai, I guess as we approach, are there any more similar reliefs at this next set of barriers?
Negative.
There are. I'll share that. There are not.
All right.
This looks like we need to explore one of the 2 sides of the passage here. Looks like we have 2 options.
Indeed.
I could try and sneak in my way through. Maybe get a good idea of what's out there before the entire group travels into a trap.
All right.
Well, the side of the room I'm on, it looks like there is like a room right here. On the other side, is there the room, or is that just a hallway?
Hallway with a door.
There's a door on our side too.
Well, no, the side over here doesn't have a door. The side over here is just this big open, fairly nice open area, looks like.
Pick a direction, Mordecai, and I'll clap him on the shoulder and give him guidance.
I'm going to investigate this direction first, because if we could see in that direction better, we won't be surprised if something comes out of there. So watch that hallway, and I'll check over here.
All right.
So, me and Crow are gonna wander on, and I'd like to roll a stealth if you don't mind.
You may certainly roll a stealth. You're heading towards the left passage there. Okay.
Alright, that's
Add
not a
that
bad
D4.
one. Now, let's see about... Oh, yeah, the D4. Blah, 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 blah.
You're inspecting that direction. I will keep an eye out this direction to make sure that we are not ambushed.
Struggle bussin'. That's my D4, and then I'm gonna have Crow roll one as well, if you don't mind.
Don't mind.
Yeah. Whew. Crow did better than I did. Sort of.
Yeah, he got a 19. He got a 21.
Higher dice roll, though.
Yes.
Either way, we are both very quiet, sneaky boys, so we're gonna kind of wander down this hallway,
Sure.
and when I get to the door, I'd like to inspect it and see if I can hear anything on the other side, maybe see through a hole or a crack or anything.
Sure, yeah, make a investigation check. Seems like you're really getting kind of like into the nitty-gritty of the door.
No chance it could be a perception.
You said you're kind of like looking for cracks and that kind of thing, and I assume you're gonna peep through them and maybe even try to search for traps, right? So I think investigation is most apt here.
Shit. Okay.
Sorry.
Give it my best shot.
Okay, so you're looking at this door and you're kind of looking for these things. You don't really see anything. There's no gaps around the jamb. There's no like keyhole. There's just a lever to to open the latch of the door and proceed inside. There is a carving on the door though. In the gold, there is a carving of a mountain of skulls, and sitting atop it, a elven-looking figure.
Oh. Huh. I can draw some conclusions from that I don't like. I'm going to, without disturbing the door, continue on down the hallway. Oh, hey, is that a skeleton?
Yeah, that's a skeleton. There's a dead body over there.
I'm gonna kind of peek around the corner.
So as just a FYI for stream, unfortunately, while we've had some significant camera operations improvements where it'll zoom out to keep everybody on the same screen, there is an upward limit to that, and as to where it stays viable in dark places. So, as a general ask for help for things, you can scooch closer together. We'll have a more zoomed in view, but that is only for if you feel comfortable doing so as a character.
Ben is going to want to try and keep Crow or Mordecai in sight.
Oops.
So I'll make my own stealth check as I just sort of move slightly up.
Sure.
It's appreciated in case something jumps at me and I can't act.
Yeah, I'm still keeping an eye on the passageway across the way, even though I'm moved over here because it seems to be a little bit more sheltered to be in the passageway than out in the open.
Now, I know you guys are being careful, but you are allowed to freely move even when I'm not addressing you. Just keep in mind that I might suddenly pause the game for something that's happening on the other side of the side of the map. So,
Okay.
that's usually a bad thing. So, kidding. Usually just means there's a narrative moment happening.
I'm gonna kind of sneak a little closer and inspect our dead friend over here.
Okay. Make an investigation check if you'd like, or perception.
I'll do that instead.
I'll perceive.
Yeah.
Okay. So this body seems to be clutching something. Skeletonized. Been here a long time. And you see that you're in a library of sorts. books upon the shelves. You know, the irony is not really lost on you because there's no light here whatsoever. So, who would seek to store knowledge in a lightless place? How would you read?
Can I? Yeah.
But there is a single sheaf of paper held in the skeleton's clutches. It seems to be something scrawled upon the page, easily plucked from the time-destroyed phalanges, if you wish.
Yes, I'd like to kind of pick it up. Can I make out the actual words with my dark vision, or does that make it too hard?
No, you can make out the actual words. They're written
Yeah.
in High Cruic, and they
Okay.
say, I just wanted to read it all. Before I knew it, my time on this realm was over, and I crossed to the next. Woe unto me, in this lightless place will my spirit find oblivion, or only the madness of final existence in proximity to boundless forbidden knowledge.
I'll kind of scoff at that. Not really a learned man, Mordecai, you know. Doesn't
This
really...
book learning shit!
Ah, dying for that. So goofy. I'll look down this hallway, and I don't see anything interesting. Can I tell what's on this table from over here?
It just looks like beakers and glassware.
Beakers and glassware.
Do you tell us that, what you found? Do you?
That would
I was
all
require
about
right
him
on
to
He would have to shout 100 feet back.
Okay.
probably alert anything else out here, but I was about to turn around anyway. Maybe take one more step to get an idea. It looks like more bookshelves over there. So I'm gonna take a step back and go see my friend.
As he's returning, Ben would like to listen at the door to hear if there's anything on the other side.
Make a perception check. You don't hear
28.
anything on the other side.
Damn.
Ben will nod to Mordecai. I think this is clear. I'm gonna open it on 3.
I'm gonna flick a knife out of my sleeve and have it at the ready.
Did you want to change your crow's damage immunity and type?
Oh my god, yes, I even thought about that.
We just did a long rest.
We did. I was thinking ice. I don't know what you guys think, if that's a good plan or not.
Lightning
Ice or
has
lightning. Yeah.
been the least resisted we've encountered so far.
Lightning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go and walk past.
Let's
Ooh, I
go
don't
with
know too
it.
far.
No.
All right. Ben will open the door.
Okay, you open the door.
Actually, before I do, can I? Is the elven figure familiar to me at all? Is the symbology of sitting on a mountain of skulls something that my mother would have spoken about?
Go ahead and roll me a history check. The DC is quite high. However, it is something that you are probably the only person in the party who would know, outside of perhaps Catraxia.
As I
Aw.
walked by the door, could I make a similar check on the carving?
You could. However, you are not in a position to know anything about this.
Oh, okay, so it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be in any of the tales or historic lore or anything like
No,
that.
it has nothing to do with.
I
Curse.
mean-
it's an elven
Okay.
thing.
Oh, okay.
I had Elven Mother.
If you'd like, yes, you may roll a history check. 19. Anybody got anything to boost that?
History.
How about a bit of inspiration?
Wait, that was supposed to be a disadvantage. Never mind, anyhow. She knows jack shit. That's very expected.
So Bardic Inspiration. What is your Bardic dice size?
Whoa. My Bardic Inspiration size is... Let me actually look on features here.
A D8. Roll a d8, Ben.
Okay.
Let me expend an inspiration.
Plus 3.
So 22. This is a vague figure from Elven legend. Supposed to be dead. Supposed to be no longer among the living. When the elves were first made, they were made perfect. The first elves were They were made in the land of the gods, and they were made by power, and they were made to be perfect. Elves that came after them were imperfect, like plains elves, or high elves, or, forest elves. These kinds of elves claim a heritage to the first elves, but they can't claim to be first elves. The high elves claim they have the most pure bloodline to the first elves. This is a figment of the legends of first elves, known as the Black Elf or the Pale Elf. Both words are interchangeable in the context here. From what you know of world history, this figure is the primary instigator of omnicide on the planet. Every time that the elves have decided that, enough's enough, we've suffered enough of these lesser beings on our world, time to kill them all. This one's been there for it. You don't know their name, but you do know that that's who this is supposed to be.
Fucking shit. Oh, I don't like seeing that on a door. Especially not if they live here.
Didn't see anyone else down the other path. It looked like a library. There was a dead guy, though. Some nerd who wanted to read books.
Greg, are you happy where you are?
I think
No.
because everyone else has wandered off, Greg is just staying with the captain to protect their turns.
And we'll step into the room.
The room appears to be empty.
Appears to be.
Yes. And since you said there was a library of some sorts down here,
Mm-mm.
let's see if we find said library.
Oh, there's a dead guy.
Then we'll sort of carefully do a circuit of the room, looking for anything hidden. Careful where they're stepping.
Sure. Yeah, you want to do an investigation roll too?
Sure.
Okay.
Skull.
This, seems like a whole lot of nothing.
All right. Yeah, Ben will leave for now.
Okay.
Yeah, once y'all get done over there, I will investigate the library, but don't want to necessarily have two things going on in two different parts of the complex.
I like how the plan was sneaky person goes, and then immediately everyone else followed except for the other sneaky person.
Yeah, Mordecai.
Well,
Mordecai stepped away, I think, for the moment. So
I waited till sneaky person came back.
just gonna have them back out.
Oh.
There we go. Oh, you're back. Okay, good.
Yes. Sorry, my wife got home. I apologize. I got a bit distracted.
Don't apologize.
So, do any of these books look interesting?
Okay, so you want to make an investigation check here?
Yep.
All right.
And if I need to make more than one, I'll make more than one, since there are quite a few bookshelves.
So let's see here. In the course of your investigation, are you picking up any to examine them?
Trying to at least read what the titles are, if they have titles.
Okay. Can you read demonic?
Unfortunately, not.
Okay. You cannot read the titles. As you peruse the stacks here, you do find that they are covered in what appear to be some kind of gossamer, some kind of like spider silk or that sort of thing. Though you don't see any of the insects here. There appears to be some kind of sort of like a slight stickiness to them. As you're examining them, they are of varying sizes and hefts. They're different weights. Some are made from, they've got like wood covers, others have leather covers, some still are just like in a metal case and they are locked.
Okay.
Like a latch kind of situation, not a key.
Well, I asked Mordecai, given that he has experience reading demonic, as far as I know, if he can read any of them.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of a side eye, and then I'll take a look.
Okay. Just to read the titles?
Yeah, Mordecai's not much of a reader, but I will go through the titles, yeah.
Okay. No roll necessary. As you peruse the titles, they seem to be just increasingly esoteric or specific monographs about a variety of different things regarding magic or metaphysics or a variety of other movements of the universe. Natural laws, alchemy, geology, all kinds of information and knowledge is stored here. It seems to be, from your perspective, like overly complete, Mordecai. Like this is everything you would ever need to learn about anything.
I'm not sure how Mordecai would react to that. This is
Bunch of
a
nerd
lot
shit.
to read. Yeah, right.
Bunch of nerd
That's
shit.
what I want. That's what I wanted to say, but I.
While they're looking through the books.
So essentially, what you're saying is Proxia found her own personal heaven.
Lee, go ahead.
Ben is going to approach this alchemical station.
Yeah.
Being very careful if it looks like there's any active reagents or anything like that, but just sort of starting to try and if I can read the book, then read it. If I can't, then start just trying to piece together what kind of processes are conducted here based on the reagents and tools present.
Sure, okay. You're going to try to read the book?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You pick it up to read it, and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. $18.
18. All right. As you look at it, its pages are blank.
Well, that ain't helpful. And a bit concerning. But Ben will put it down.
Okay, you put it down.
Instead, just look at the look at the reagents and tools and see if they can piece together what might be happening here.
Okay. Make an investigation check. You have alchemy proficiency, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You can add your proficiency on top of it, investigation check if you don't already have proficiency.
Okay. I think at this point, we're doing enough thinking. Ben's going to expend an enhance ability.
Okay. Yike.
13.
As you're kind of perusing around, this is a pretty old but semi-standard setup for brewing potions. The cauldron is definitely full of acid. Whatever was in there is now just plain acid, and it will corrode and melt whatever you put in there. There's some potion bottles on the table. Some of the flasks and such have what seems to be the remains of a black potion inside. There is a potion of superior healing on the table that appears to be corked and intact.
Ben will pick it up.
Okay. Here is the potion of superior healing. That on the ground there.
That black potion remains.
Yep.
Would it be possible to make another check to try and identify it more specifically?
You could. You could also try to recover it from the flaskware and put it into an empty vial.
Mm-hmm. I guess, yeah, if I basically make another alchemy check to do both?
The recovery would be a dex check, but the alchemy check would be to try to identify it.
Okay, I'd like to try to identify it first, then.
Okay, extremely high DC.
All right.
What is the maximum you can roll on this?
Maximum I can roll would be a 25.
Okay.
With a nat 20. Actually, I think first... Yeah, no, I'll try this first. $17.
Whatever this is, it is beyond what you are able to suss out just from looking at it and testing it with your senses. You don't know what the ingredients are. You can't really place any of the smells or any of the apparent texture from like shaking it a little bit in the flask, or viscosity. You're having a hard time, like, even in this colorless place, you're having a hard time discerning its true shade.
Right.
Its true hue.
I think it'll take Ben out for a little bit, but they're going to ritually cast Detect Poison and Disease.
Okay. It registers as toxic. However, the magic is also inferring that it is made for consumption as an enhancement.
Let me see. I suppose, yeah, at this point, Ben will try and recover it.
Okay. This is a dexterity check. So,
full PPE, leather gloves,
yeah.
like mask, everything. Basically, the intent is if something goes wrong, it's the potion that suffers, not Ben.
Sure. You need to roll a 14 or higher. Meet or beat 14.
I was going to say you want some help.
17.
17. So yeah, you managed to gather what is in these flasks into one of the empty vials. Okay. So I will get that to you presently.
What in the world is that?
Alchemy. Exactly what kind? I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
But it is poisonous. Probably. Possibly. We're not drinking it until I figure it out more.
There you go.
You can drink anything you want once.
Okay, it's in
Yeah.
it's in your loot.
Nice.
Okay.
Anything different? Anything that stands out about any of the bookshelves, or they all look like they're all pretty much similar?
They're similar.
Okay.
Hey, Mordecai.
Mhm.
Actually, I think literally in this moment, Ben thinks better of it. Says, no, never mind.
What do you mean?
Is this book laying open?
Yes.
Ben would have put it back closed.
Okay.
Damn.
It was laying open.
Yeah. Nah, there's a book. It's creepy. You've got enough of that. We're not dealing with it.
What's creepy about the book?
Well, for starters, it's here. And secondly,
It's next to a cauldron full of dragon blood.
acid.
Hydra blood. Might as well be like that Hydra's blood.
But also, it's blank, which means there's probably some magic nonsense going on with it, which means none of us are going to read it.
Well, I can't read anyhow.
Exactly.
There's a relief here of
Yeah.
there's some kind of carving. It doesn't look like any kind of artwork. It just looks like words, but you can't read them.
I can't read them. Well, let's go back and get our good friend Mordecai. If I can navigate back down the hallway. Mordecai, might I borrow you for a moment? We found another of these nice pieces of text.
What am I, a reading light? I'm gonna kind of walk on
No,
down the
you're-
hall.
You're just saving me from having to cast comprehend language.
So you guys are just having a chat down here about the alchemy set?
Yeah, I was just gonna. Is there any more empty bottles?
Yeah, there are a couple of empty vials. Do you want to grab some?
Yeah, I grab an empty vial.
Okay.
Just yoink one.
Just one? Here you go. I'm dropping it next to you.
Oh.
Over here.
There we go. I don't know how I'm supposed to pick it up.
You double click on it.
Aha. Take.
So Mordecai, this is relief number 3
Alright.
from the Lightless Palace.
Are you about to DM it to me? Oh, there.
Nope. It's going to
Nope.
show up in the journal.
Oh, I see.
And I make sure to transcribe it down with the others as he reads it off. So if you don't mind copying and pasting it into my entry when you get a chance, it'd be appreciated.
Alright. I'll, and can I read this?
You should be able to.
It doesn't let me.
Oh, it might be in, yeah, it might be in High Demonic, not a language you know.
Oh, shit. Okay. Alright. You want me to put it in your entry?
You can ask Catraxia. She can read it.
I'm gonna kind of look at her for a moment meaningfully.
She says, it's a warning. You don't want to be going in this direction. You're not one of the faithful. I mean, you can keep going if you'd like. I think I'll enjoy watching you both be ripped limb from limb. Crow, on the other hand, I might not enjoy that. He's a little cute.
Are you talking about this part of the tunnel, or just moving on in general?
I'm talking about what it says here about what you're close to. You remember those little dog-like ones that seem to know where you are no matter what? She says.
Yes.
Well, if you're too loud, they're gonna hear you. Or sense you. And then they're gonna hunt you down. And these walls are pretty thin in comparison. So, you know.
I'm going to kind of tell Praxia what I know of this relief and say it says that we need to be quiet. That it's a warning that something here could hear us if we're too loud. We need to be quiet.
I'd go on and spend the comprehend languages.
Okay.
Because I mean, there could be others around here. We need to find the instructions eventually, so to get to the next barrier. So I'm sure I will need it at some point.
Okay. With comprehend languages, I will read this to the rest of you out loud, and I will send it directly to you. You can put it in your own journal at your leisure.
Okay.
Where are you in my Discord list? You gotta be in here somewhere. Oh,
Yes, I have to be there. I have to be there somewhere.
So it says, carved into the stone as if with claws, the great phasing hunter of the endless steppes of despair shall hunt the faithless and apostates that have entered this most holy of places. Be not afraid of them, O faithful. Wake them and let them spill the blood of your enemies in pursuit of you. No distance nor hiding place will prevent them from chewing upon the bones of your foes.
Oh, I guess this guy's bones does look kind of chewed down here.
I never said that, Zed.
No, I know. It does look a little chewed, though, the legs.
So I will walk back down the hall where we came from, so I can let our friends know what it was that the carving said.
When Praxia wanders away, Mordecai, Catraxia says, you all need to get out of here as soon as possible. And that does mean you will have to go through some of the trials that are here. However, you should not be letting anyone wander off on their own. The captain is probably too taxed to keep a leash on everyone.
Is there...
Magic is loud, Mordecai. They probably heard.
Shit. I'm gonna kind of pick up my pace and wander on back to everyone here. Oh, what the hell? I'm in the wall.
He's going.
It's because you have a little bit of free space on some of the walls there. As you're continuing, she says, demons can also sense magic because we are higher order beings, or we are more in tune with it. Have your friends stop willy-nilly casting spells.
I'm gonna say to everyone, quiet down. No more noise, and no more casting spells. Oh, why am I blinded? My bad.
Okay.
I just casted blinded on myself.
You cast blind at yourself?
I hit the effects and accidentally clicked it, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Don't worry about it.
Ah! Suddenly blind.
Something watching us, Mordecai?
Captain's gonna convey that to the others over here.
There's certainly something here. We are not alone. Just trust me. We all need to stop making noise and stop casting spells, and we need to get out of here as quickly as we can. There's only one way out, and it's not back where the army is coming from. So, we have to continue on.
So is it bad that Edelweiss wants to mess with the book more than Ben told her not to?
That's why Ben's standing here looking at you.
She's just like...
Do you want to pick it up and try to read it?
I know Ben told me not to. As soon as he walked away, I tried to come over here, and then he started watching again.
Well, maybe that book is off limits, but maybe another book's not.
Yeah. Well, she can't read most things, but does anything have, like, Elvish or Onsai?
Not apparently from the covers.
Yeah.
I mean, you can always crack one up and give it a try.
She's gonna crack open one of the ones that's laying down over here.
Okay, you open it. You try to read it. That's a question. Are you trying to read
Yes.
it? Okay, make a
Need
wisdom
to-
saving throw.
Oh no, all these books are like this. Where's it at? Wisdom.
Wisdom saving throw.
Please stop frizz. There we go.
Oh, the pages are blank.
Oh,
What's the friendly comprehend languages? I'm going to try the book on the table.
Okay, you pick up the
Wait.
book on the table, you try to read it, make a wisdom
Wait.
saving throw.
Because Ben didn't tell me not to read it.
If I see you reaching
That's
for
not-
it, Ben will say, stop.
I reached for a different book. Also, I'm not done, apparently. Oh, I'm just as good. I'm fine. Never mind. Because I forgot. Disadvantage still.
Okay. Yeah, wisdom saving throw. You didn't have a, you don't have disadvantage on saves at Elvice. You just had disadvantage on ability checks. Just on
Okay.
ability checks.
Oh,
A 9. Okay. You fail, Praxia. I need you to make a sanity saving throw now.
Sanity saving throw.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, sanity saving throw. Wow, okay. That's also a failure. You are consumed by what you are seeing. The book has pages upon pages of forbidden knowledge about, this one in particular on the desk here is alchemy. I need you to roll a d4 for me.
Okay. Bill rolled 2 of them on accident.
Okay. Let's see. About how old would you say Praxia is?
Good question. Probably about, well, given that the ice have been around for a couple of years, about, probably young adult, maybe.
Okay. I mean, the Ith have been around for thousands of years, but you've been aware of yourselves for a couple. Or,
Right.
Yeah, a little bit, maybe like a year
Yeah,
and a
so-
half, or a little bit over 2. I'm not going to get into the details of that. But you age 15 years before everyone's very eyes as the books imparting knowledge upon you. You become consumed with this idea of a potion called divinity, and you feel compelled to create and drink this potion at your earliest opportunity. You gain proficiency in, you can choose one of the 3 things here. You may gain a magical cantrip spell. It's an attack spell called Dark Bolt. You can gain the feature Channeler, but the cursed version, which will allow you to cast leveled spells over and over again for free, so long as you've already cast that spell once. However, you will sacrifice every time you cast it. Or Profane Knowledge, which will have a different kind of effect on you.
What kind of effect?
Well, it'll increase your intelligence ability score by 1 for starters. Your sanity ability score will decrease by 1. You'll gain proficiency in Arcana and History if you don't already have it. If you do already have it, it will be elevated to Expertise. Additionally, if you fail an Arcana check, you may opt to use your Profane Knowledge feature to re-roll the check. The result is final and must be used. Regardless of that result, you will gain a level of exhaustion and suffer 1 hit die's worth of damage as you remember this very moment.
So whenever I use the feature, I will become exhausted.
You will gain a level of exhaustion, and you will suffer 1 hit die's worth of damage.
And the cursed version of the channeler said there's a sacrifice involved in it. Do I have any idea what it would be?
You will suffer a hit die of damage every time you use the feature to cast a leveled spell for free.
This one is actually not that difficult. Being a college of lore bard, and given that it is like the thing she is most enamored of to a certain extent in this her current existence is she would probably take the knowledge.
Okay, so you gain profane knowledge. You already have a expertise in intelligence, or in history, so you get a bonus of +2 to it. You also gain expertise in Arcana. Your sanity ability score goes down by 1. So you're now at 12. Your intelligence goes up by 1. You're at 17.
You've got a screw loose, but you're smarter.
Yeah. And you may use profane knowledge to re-roll a failed Arcana check. And every time you do, you will suffer a level of exhaustion and 1 hit die's worth of damage. You're also obsessed with this potion called Divinity and making one as soon as possible.
Potion called Divinity. Do I know anything about the potion?
You know everything about how to make one. You know what ingredients you need. You know the process. You just
Then does it give me proficiency in alchemy then? So I can actually make one.
It gives you proficiency in making this potion.
Okay. This particular potion. And I'm assuming the ingredients for making this potion are not available currently.
They are right in front of you.
Well, I know we have an expert in alchemy here, so I mentioned to our good friend Ben.
I told you not to read the book.
What is going on in
told
here?
me not to read the book. You didn't tell her not to read the book.
I said stop.
I'm gonna look at my demon friend and say, was that magic? Do we need to be worried?
You should probably just kill the cat now, because she's going to be so obsessed with making this potion that's extremely dangerous for her to consume that, you know, it's just, she's going to be a hindrance until she actually does make it and then consume it. So.
I asked Ben about the potion. Like, okay, do you happen to know anything about this? These set of ingredients, and etc. I mentioned about the potion that the book described.
And Captain's like, what is going on?
Read a cursed book.
Just loud sigh.
Do I know, given the description of the ingredients and the process to make it, have I heard of this potion before?
You have not. She gives you a in-depth explanation and of the ingredients. They're all right in front of you, you suppose. You don't actually know what some of this stuff is in these flasks and vials and things. But you suppose that what she's describing is what you retrieved from the flasks.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Ben is going to, using his staff, knock the book into the pit of acid.
Okay. The book is knocked into the pit of acid, and it bubbles and boils, and the pages corrode away and burn away into nothing. The book is destroyed.
We're done here.
Catraxia says, "For a moment, Mordecai, over here, quick."
It's cute.
I'm gonna kind of follow her over. This isn't like when you tried to come on to me in the tent, right?
No, shut up. When they've all fucked off for a second, get some of the acid. Get the acid.
The acid.
Get the acid.
I'm not sure I have anything to carry it in.
There's gonna be an empty vial on the table or something. Get the acid.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we need it for something?
Yes.
I'm going to kind of look at her like. Go on.
Okay. We need it. Okay. We need it. If I'm gonna be
Mordecai.
help to you in the future, you're gonna get the acid, and you're gonna hold on to it until I tell you to use it. Okay?
Mordecai shrugs. All right. That shouldn't be difficult.
The Shogun says, "I suddenly feel very alone over here. I feel like everyone has left me." Cypher Shy grabs him by the arm and says, "I didn't mean to leave you. I'm sorry. Come here."
This is all a distraction. Mordecai, there you are. Where's the next? If that relief didn't help us, where's the next thing we need to do to open those next set of gates?
About how long does it take? About how long does it take to make this potion?
You could probably put this together in an hour.
I imagine it'd be best if we go and check out the other side of the tunnels.
All right, that's what we'll do.
There's more passage on this side. Past where the.
I'm sorry. Can I put another book in the acid?
Yeah, you can. You just grab one and throw it in the acid.
Before you do you mind if I intervene real quick and like kind of grab your hand before you throw it in?
It's like, all right.
Do I need to roll anything for that or?
Only if it's
She just stops.
Yeah. One moment. And I'm just gonna reach onto the table, grab a vial, and say, "This might come in handy, and I don't want you ruining it." So I'll fill the vial with acid.
Okay, you now have a vial of incredibly potent acid.
And while you're filling the vial, I mentioned to Ed, don't destroy the library. Hopefully we'll be able to come back here after all this is done and preserve all of this information.
There is no information. They're all blank.
They're not blank.
Does Praxia have any reaction to me like going to burn any of these? Not Praxia, the other one. I'm just curious. I know I can't see them.
You mean Catraxia, right?
Yeah, Catraxia. I know you two have such similar names, and I know it wasn't intentional.
Oh, you're talking about our demon sugar mama? Yeah, she doesn't seem to be you don't see her.
I know. I was just wondering out of character if she's freaking out.
Out of character, she's just kind of hanging out by Crow here. She's not freaking out at all. She doesn't seem to care.
Weird. Now, am I going to have to make some kind of check to wander a bit more through this place to resist the urge to go on and make the potion now, or?
I mean, you're obsessed with it. If you want to leave here now, you can. Doesn't mean there won't be a check later.
Okay. Well, I know where the potion making thing is. I do not know if I'm in a completely safe place to make the potion, so I need to continue exploring my surroundings.
Sure. That's a wall. There's a wall there.
Yeah, I tried to navigate around the wall.
Do not let her go that way, Trexia says.
Hey, Praxia. Mordecai said don't go that way.
I'm not going past the relief that we read.
No.
I literally
stay together.
Okay, well we need to go further forward down this passage.
What about the other side of these tunnels?
If there's one relief down here, there may be another, and we need the instructions for how to get past the stupid barrier.
Or there's another relief that doesn't have some kind of monster next to it.
True. But do you want to have to come back over here if we don't find what we're looking for on the other side?
Yes.
Are you?
I mean, we're already here.
Are you like
I'm
grabbing
stopping her.
Okay, you.
Yes, I'm literally grabbing her.
Okay. If you want to resist Praxia, you can. You'd have to beat a 16.
Now, okay, Ed, what do you think about this? Should we look at the rest of this side before we go to the other side, or do you think we should check out the other side first?
Praxia, Mordecai has indicated that it is a bad idea to go over there. He's the scout.
I think you
Yes.
need to listen to the rest of us, darling.
Okay.
Come with me.
If the consensus is to look on the other side, we'll look on the other side first.
This isn't
If
a
you-
consensus kind of thing, the captain says. We're still an army. We're still a military. My NCOs are telling me that the other side is a good place to start again. We're going to go to the other side of this creepy, terrible fucking place.
We need to
Yeah.
go there, find the way past these doors, and get out.
She's,
Right now.
She's clanking pretty loudly every time she steps. She's trying, though. She is trying her best. Greg, anything you want to do over here? Because I know you kind of got
are there more
lost in the
vials?
sauce. Yes, there are more vials. Would you like some empty vials?
I would like to also grab acid.
Ah, you would like some incredibly potent acid. How many are you going to fill?
I mean, if there's like 3 vials, Greg will fill those.
Sure, yeah, 3 vials.
Just fill all the vials that are left.
So you go walk up to that and you double click on it, and it'll. Yep.
We'll need some vials to make divinity potion. Don't use them all.
All of them.
Oh yeah, I
do
know. I
update it or leave now that it's empty.
Okay.
Oh, it's just gone.
Yeah, it just disappears. Yeah.
Mordecai, you're up again.
Yes, scout.
Yes.
Go scout.
Yes. All right. I'm gonna go do that. I will wander on over to the other side of the hallway.
Atraxia follows you, of course.
Yeah.
Blazes past you for a second.
That's that. There you go.
And she's a hallucination, so you know.
No chance you can like go on ahead and tell me what's there, right?
My awareness only extends to where you are. I don't know who I just
So-
grabbed, but I think I broke it.
So if I cover my eyes, you're blind.
No, your awareness isn't just your eyeballs, you idiot. She slaps you. Can you read this on your own, or are you unaware of what it says?
Can I read it on my? Also, I can't move. Why can't I
Oh,
move? Oh, is that a?
That's who's broken.
That's apologies. This is just to keep you guys from wandering into spaces that you're not all intending to go into, it seems.
Ah, there we go. Yeah. So I will attempt to read it.
Sure, yeah. Okay, so let me go ahead and do this.
It's the thing right in front of us, right?
Yep, the tome there.
Okay, so I can read as well.
It is an observer status for all players now. It says, the book that rests upon the stone altar is written in what appears to be a dark red or brown ink with a flowing and gentle hand. The codex consists of 2 slabs of black stone and 1 page of paper made from some kind of skin. O devoted supplicant of the true gods, your first challenge awaits in these mirrored halls. Be as bare as these halls and lay hands upon each of the unseen, if you are true to your lord the Nightbringer.
So, did I understand that, or did she read it? Because I couldn't read that in the thing, so I assume it's high demonic as well.
She reads it to you, yes.
Okay. Cool.
Can I get a copy of it to add to my journal page?
Yes.
I'll dictate what she said. Bare as these halls. Do we need to get naked?
That's the same as the previous one.
Is it? Oh, yes, it is. So it is. Are you asking Catraxia that?
I just kind of posed the question, but if she's got some guidance, Mordecai would love it.
She says, I don't know anything about this place. This isn't my goddess's domain.
I don't want to get naked in front of everyone.
Okay. So you hang up, she says.
Wait, what's it saying about getting naked?
I'm gonna kind of motion to Praxia. If you would wait here and turn around and don't look. All right.
Okay. I turn around.
I'm gonna kind of walk and I'll look back just to make sure you're not looking. And then Mordecai is going to disrobe and kind of sneak down the halls a little bit.
Okay. As you disrobe, your vision sort of changes. Are you paying attention to your surroundings while you're disrobing, or are you just taking everything off as fast as you can? What's Mordecai's mode of operation here?
I think that at this point, I mean, he's kind of ultra alert because he doesn't want anyone to see him.
Okay, make a perception check for me then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So close to a 20.
Well.
Thing tilted on the edge.
So there's no dust on the floor, not a speck of dirt anywhere. You can tell that the gold on the walls is reflective and polished well enough that your image in the mirror is not distorted. In fact, it is a perfect reflection. But that's all you see at the moment. Catraxia, you can also see in the mirrors. She says, seems like the walls will reveal what is true.
I'm gonna kind of look at the wall next to where she's standing.
Do you have your weapons on you or no?
I would not have left my knives, no.
Okay, so after you disrobe and you pick up your knife belt and such, and you go over to walk at the wall, she's standing there and she fades from the mirror. She says, shame.
Oh, so it's the weapons.
Or just the fact that she's not really there, showing what's true. I'm going to keep walking a little bit and see if I can figure something out while I walk.
I'm streaking down the hallway.
Yeah, we got a streaker. Get to the end of the hallway and there is nothing here. I put down my knives on the ground then, and I raise my hands so that it's just me in my birthday suit, and I'm gonna look at the wall again.
Which wall?
The wall I'm standing in front of right now.
This one or this
one? Yeah. This one.
Okay, what are you looking for on the wall?
Anything that is out of the ordinary.
Okay, make a perception check.
At least it's not investigation. What the shit?
God. Okay, so you're casually looking around, kind of expecting to see something. You said you put your weapons down, or do you still have them?
Yeah, I put them down.
Okay. As you're looking around, you see Catraxia casually leaning on you where she is. And as soon as your vision coasts over that area, whatever she was leaning on sprints off down this way.
I immediately run after it. No hesitation. Am I able to keep track of it?
Yeah, so it's right there. It's looking at you. It's some kind of presence, some kind of amorphous humanoid shape.
It's not in the mirror. It's standing there.
It's standing there, and in the mirror behind it.
Now, if I remember right, it said to lay hands on what? The Watchers?
Yeah.
Was that it? I'm gonna tackle this sucker.
Okay, make an acrobatics check or an athletics check.
Acrobatics for days. Yes.
Hey, there's your nat 20.
All right, so you lunge, dashing towards one of the walls. You leap off of it, bounce off the other one to get a much better angle because it starts to sidle up against this wall here to escape you. And as soon as you tackle it, as soon as you come into contact with it with this natural 20, it disappears into a puff of smoke. And you hear that roar again in the darkness.
Shit.
What happened?
You guys don't know what happened. You just see there's darkness ahead. You don't even see him anymore.
I'm gonna go grab my knives and head back to the group at this point. I'm also gonna look back at Catraxia and say, you don't have to look at me while I'm like this.
I was helping you in great. You did well. Now the others have to do their part.
I mean, I'm just saying I'm naked, right? I have some self-respect, and
I have seen you, and it's fine. Who cares?
it makes me uncomfortable.
You gonna get dressed first?
Oh shit!
Yeah, does he just walk over naked?
Yeah, he seems to have. Yeah, he didn't say he got dressed, so he just approaches Ben.
Will turn around and lift his cloak out to provide some semblance of privacy.
Darn.
But he will look at Mordecai and smirk a bit.
Mordecai quickly puts on his clothes and walks back to Ben. I think I might have done it. Is the gate still there?
Let me see. I
So
can
you
see
care
a
about
force
him
field
having
still.
privacy. That was directed at Ben.
Sorry?
It says, "Oh, you care about him having privacy."
Yeah, I do.
So what was with that critter of yours? When we were supposed to be private. At least nowhere near you.
While you're having this conversation, you're having that with Ben, right?
Yes.
While you're having that conversation, Alethana, Praxia walks in here. Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, Mordecai just went in there and came back, and so Mordecai's unscathed, apparently, so it must not be horrendous. So you didn't run back and say, hey, get the hell out of here or anything.
Oh, when I see Alethana or Praxia go that way, I am gonna say, hey, wait. We need to stay together. You don't understand. Do not leave the group.
You gonna try to go back to the rest of the group, Praxia?
I'm with where I can see them, so I just don't go any further. I must stay where I'm at then, and I'll go. Okay, well, is there something I need to know about this place, or you just explored it?
I got naked and I saw my reflection react in a strange way in the walls. It's
Whatever happened, I dealt with it. But
What the?
What's your armor class, Praxia?
My AC is 14.
14.
Oh,
Okay.
they both.
So something tries to slap you around and then disappears.
you should get back in here now.
Okay.
You've just been attacked.
I've been attacked.
I'm gonna kind of look at these halls in a kind of scrutinizing way. Now I'm clothed, and so now I'm a little bit more wary too.
So there was something. Okay, there was something invisible over there that tried attacking me.
Oh, it's very visible if you're naked.
So we do have to get naked.
No, nobody else is getting naked. We're going to continue on. Just that would be improper.
There isn't any continuing on. The barrier is still there.
The barrier is still there.
What happened when you touched the first one?
That's when something made that noise. Maybe we all need to, or at least some of us need to do the same thing and get naked.
What was the line again? Touch the watchers, plural?
I think it was. It was become bare as these halls and lay hands on the watchers. So I'm going to say again.
Lay hands on the unseen.
But it did imply that there was more than one, because it says upon each of the unseen. Each. So all of them.
I'm gonna walk over here and say, I am not watching you all get naked. This is your battle. Go touch those naked people.
Cypher Shy is just question marks on her face. Just, what the fuck is going on in there? The captain says, okay, is there some kind of, like, weird sexual test going on in there? Or is it, like, what's going on?
It's
Do I have to be
very
worried?
improper. I could not, in good conscience, tell you about it. Actually, Crow, perfect. You're naked.
He seems to be like, what?
Here.
Crow, go in there. Get the little dragon. No, get out of the wall, Crow.
Mordecai, you said no
Yes.
spells. What about more base magic?
I think it really kind of depends. There are
I'm going to
things
turn
here-
into a creature so that I'm technically naked.
Oh.
I
gonna
don't
turn
know.
into a stork.
I'm gonna kind of give a little side eye to my friend here. Does oh. Sounds like Crow succeeded. Good job, buddy.
He does not like that.
You did good, bud. I mean, I don't see the harm. Go for it, Ben.
Ben will look at him, be like, "You sure?"
I mean, if it tries to kill you, you're not naked enough.
I was talking more about the other thing, the ban on magic, whatever reason you had for that.
I don't have an
Bone
answer for you.
chewers that were
Go ahead.
close to over there. Contraxia is trying to fill
Mm-hmm.
you in. The bone chewers that were over there could have possibly heard spellcraft. We're a little far from that area, but I would still be cautious. I would only
Ben,
use
I know
it if
this.
you absolutely have to. You speak. Go ahead. I'll shut up, he says.
Ben, I know this is improper, but Perhaps you should just avoid using any kind of magic. Just get naked. We won't look.
You think I give a shit about that?
Oh.
Yeah, Edelweiss has
Oh.
been wasting no time, and she's already getting naked.
Okay.
I have fur, so I'm not showing off anything strange by being by removing clothes, so I can easily do that same thing.
The captain says to you, Greg, while they're doing this, I'm just glad that they're volunteering for whatever this is, and we don't have to.
Oh, Greg needs to do this. Oh, Greg, you need to do this too.
Yep. All right, Greg, get in there and get naked.
Greg's already
Greg
naked, right?
was already stripping on her way over.
Oh.
She does not
Oh.
care.
Okay.
Oh dear. Mordecai kind of blanches a little bit.
I don't think you can see anything on a lizard. It's all internal.
Mordecai doesn't know that. There. He's gonna kind of focus on the captain instead of looking at the naked lizard person. There are naked, angry people in there that we need to touch.
She says, come again? I'm not sure I
Naked.
heard you correctly. Is this just like a naked game of tag in there?
Yes, that's actually a good way to describe it.
Okay, so Praxia, you're in here. What is your state of dress?
I am only in fur, but I did bring my my friendly weapon with me.
Okay.
Edelweiss did not bring her weapon.
Okay, you are without weapons? Okay.
Yes.
Edelweiss, you see in the mirrors a figure is standing here. Because you know that you're looking for something. Because I assume Mordecai has told you.
Can you see that?
Do I see it?
No.
I'm pointing that direction. It's like
Nope.
Oh, no,
I think you
I
can't
don't see
bring
anything over
with
there.
you.
I see nothing.
I think you still having things is affecting what you're trying to do.
Well, I mean, the question is the figure, who is the figure of, you or me?
Yeah, what does it look like?
Just looks like a strange figure. You saw it in the mirror. It looked vaguely feminine. It was a little far. If you'd like to roll a perception check, you'd have more detail.
That's deception. There's perception. There we go. Wait, that was supposed to be a disadvantage.
Perception ability check, yes, at disadvantage.
Let's do another at normal.
And Greg, if you'd like to get in here, you certainly
Oh, that's one
can.
lower.
I'm not stopping
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I'm assuming the weapon isn't a problem given that Mordecai brought his knives.
He had to drop his knives.
Yes.
He couldn't see until he
Yep.
dropped them.
Okay.
Greg has nothing on her because bringing her weapons would have required wearing a belt still.
Ah, yes, okay. So, you walk in here. You can make a perception check if you'd like. And Praxia, you can as well if you'd like.
Okay, with Zed's perception check, did Edelweiss see anything though, or could she she'd tell who it was?
With hers, it appeared to be a thinner feminine figure than hers.
Yes. I'm hefty.
Greg, you do not see anyone right now.
Does it
Praxia,
run as I approach?
you do see yourself right here.
Okay, I move there.
You see in the mirror it runs away from you.
Okay, runs that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's first of all roll stealth. And unfortunately, Oh,
Zed, Edelweiss sees a figure here that could be them.
Hmm? Oh.
Here.
Here. She kind of sneaks up over this way.
Okay. You are not stealthed right now.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, stealth check first.
yeah, I stealth this way, the way I saw my figure go.
Okay. In the mirror, you see yourself right here. Praxia.
I'm not good at stealthing. In fact, Well,
You're gonna
just
try.
rush him.
You're gonna try to catch it.
Rush him, yes.
Yeah, I try to smack it with a paw
Okay.
and try to grab it.
Make an attack roll. This would be basically a dexterity check for you with your proficiency bonus. So it's a +2 +3. So +5.
So it's essentially like essentially just the same as like if I made a stealth check then.
Right, but without the disadvantage because it's an attack roll.
Okay. So I might as well just roll stealth with a normal roll and get the same thing.
That will overwrite your stealth status right now.
Oh, okay. Then how about performance? Let's +5 as well.
Just roll a d20 and add 5.
Oh, okay. I can do that. Okay, I know how to do that. Oh, this is Foundry. I know how to do this.
And Ed, you're doing something over here, and Greg, you're doing something over here.
Yes.
Okay, that meets its armor class.
I rolled a 22 because it didn't add the 3. It added just my +2.
Yep, I know. I can.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I just happened to notice that it didn't quite do what I expected it to.
I'm rolling dex, right? I'm sorry.
The figure has gotten away from you, Zed.
Darn.
Yeah, your feet are slap, 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 slap.
That's
Slap,
what I
slap,
figured.
slap, 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 slap. There's nobody here. Slap, slap.
Okay, I'm gonna try to perceive them again.
Okay. And Greg.
I didn't see anything, so I'm just standing here still.
Okay.
I see shit.
14. You see something here in the mirror.
Oh, I can see its reflection.
Yes.
With my 22, did I catch it?
Yes, that's what the scream was. I told you you hit it.
Oh, okay. So did I get the noise? Did I get the noise that says the
Yes.
roaring noise?
Yes.
Okay. So having successfully gotten the roaring noise, then I can go back and join our good friend Mordecai, and I'd close back again.
I like how I just can't do this.
Oh, there you go. Better stealth check. Okay.
I should have put in some plus to that, right?
Your stealth is a is a +2, so that's correct. That's
Okay.
correct stealth roll. And you're just kind of biding your time, Greg.
Yeah, I could make another perception check. It's like, okay, those two ran off, and nothing happened to me like what was described, so there must be too many people at once.
Yeah, I mentioned to Greg, it's like you need to wander around and find them. They aren't necessarily like right here where you can see them right off the bat. They're just somewhere in here.
Jump around a corner and smack.
Okay, so yeah, you jump around the corner and smack. It seems surprised. You kind of see a vaguely U-shaped figure, kind of made of smoke and just nothing. Make your attack roll. Mordecai got a described he was tackling, so I gave him a different kind of roll because that seemed appropriate. But attack roll.
Dex? Or...
You can do strength if you want. Just notice that Praxia's strength is much lower than their dex. So... Greg, you're wandering about. Did you want a perception check while Ed is rolling their attack roll? Uh, 15 hits. You smack it as you hop around the corner. It dissipates in a roar. And Greg, in the mirrors, you see something lurking here, vaguely Scaldy-sized.
Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming that means I'm not actually in stealth anymore and I need to re-stealth.
I mean, you see something else in the mirror. That doesn't mean that you're no longer in stealth. Okay.
Go this way.
You go that way. You look in the direction where you expected to be. There is a Scaldy-shaped smoke figure here. It's looking up this hallway through the mirrors, expecting to probably see you by the entrance.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sneak up on it and like grab it.
Sure, yeah. Do you want to grapple it or do you want to slap it?
I was thinking a grapple.
Okay, for a grapple check, you need to make an athletics roll. If you were going to slap it, you could do a dexterity-based attack roll, which would give you a +7.
Nope, I'm doing the stupid thing and failing.
You go to grab it, it suddenly notices that you're there and runs off. You don't hear, like, toes slapping or anything, but it runs off and changes position.
I see. Back up into this hallway then.
As you go into that hallway, it seems to know where you are and it changes position again. You may want to re-roll your stealth. You're no longer hidden to it.
Oh, that's a really good roll.
Yeah. No. Stop.
Queen of Divine Comedy.
Yep, that's her title. She believes she is the Queen of Divine Comedy. Okay, so you've re-stealthed.
Still don't know where it is, so I'm gonna go this way. Another perception check?
If you'd like. 16, okay. You scan the mirrors, and you do find an angle that betrays that it is on the other side of this position over here. It won't let us zoom out that far, so yeah. I'll just direct for now.
I'm gonna go this way. Go after them.
Okay.
And grappling it didn't seem to work out too well. I don't have anything to throw at it.
You believe, based on what the others were telling you, that you have to lay hands on it, or you have to touch it.
So I'm gonna get here I can see it over here now, right?
Yes, so in the mirrors, you can see that it is standing here. It's not looking in your direction, it's looking off towards this direction. So it seems to be expecting you to come from that way.
I will come down here and well, oh, that's pretty good. I think maybe I'll snap at it.
Okay, okay, you take a bite at it.
Take a bite at a crime.
I think it's just a regular strength check. What is it actually use? It did not say there, which is weird.
Let's see, your Hungry Jaws feature.
Oh, no, that was...
It's just an attack roll, so... Yeah, so make an attack roll. You can use your dex. So roll a dexterity check and add 3 to it. The 1d20 plus 7. You can just type that in the chat without the quotes.
Yeah, 'cause I'm not seeing how it'll let me actually change the...
For on the fly rolls like
the
this,
text.
use the tray at the bottom right to put your roll together. So if you click on the d20 shaped one and then you put add plus 7, it'll do the job for it. Yeah, 23 hits it. So you come around and you bite its head off. It smokes out and screams. And as it screams, you feel a billowing gust of wind kind of circulate through this hall, and then it rips you out of the space against your will. You as well, Edivice, you are thrown. Ben, you're kind of stuck in the threshold there, but eventually you are also thrown from it, and you are no longer able to proceed back into that room.
Wait, did Ben do
Oh,
it?
I hope no one left their clothes there.
I assume you guys disrobed outside after Mordecai gave you the spiel.
Yeah.
Yeah, did Ben do it?
Ben has not done it.
Ben has not done it.
Wait, so he doesn't have to?
Well, the barrier's still there, so Ben, are you able to go in there? The rest, it seems like the rest of us can't.
Ben will try approaching, but if not...
You seem to be unable to go in there.
Okay.
There is...
Seems like... Oh, there's another barrier.
Yeah, there's a barrier there now.
Alright, seems like there's one final step we gotta make to do this barrier down. Mordecai?
Yes.
Think we gotta go the way that you don't want to go. Seems like the only option left to us.
All right.
Somebody give me an intelligence check.
That ain't me.
I was about to say.
Couldn't be me.
So it's an int check that would not be at disadvantage, right?
It's an ability
it's
check,
actually-
so it would be at disadvantage.
Okay.
I mean, can we all try?
Yeah, I said somebody. Could be anybody.
I fell miserably.
Oh, yay. I
Ooh,
froze.
bunch of
There we go.
9s. Couple of 4.
It's intimidation or is intelligence. I'm not really good at that, but who knows?
Let's have Cypher Shy throw her hat in the ring. 9.
Crow's turn.
Wow.
I mean, that's
how about-
expected from Edelweiss, but I love the fact that the other one was 20.
How about the Shogun?
I mean,
He
he'll
seems like a smart kid.
give it a shot. Nope, that's a saving throw. Oopsie. He'll give it a shot. Nope.
It was like the brain cell almost connected on Edelweiss, but
Definitely didn't
He
connect
said
for
no.
the captain either. So,
Uh,
we missing somebody?
Mordecai.
Mordecai.
Yeah.
and
right here.
Catraxia.
Catraxia is not going to roll for this.
Oh, yes. Well, okay.
How about Crow?
Ah.
He might get higher than me.
Oh. Ah. He knows something, but he doesn't know what he knows. Oh my god. An actual
Oh,
roll
wow.
from Mordecai? Wow.
he's smart for.
Let's not go that far.
I'm gonna point out the obvious to you guys. Or what should be obvious to the party now. The barriers are cropping up on these gold lines. These ones aren't deactivated. This one has reactivated. But these two are still deactivated. So there is another passage here somewhere that has probably deactivated.
Right.
Oh.
I suppose we could double check the that fucking room again with the pale elf. Ben's gonna actually try stealthing.
Okay. Did he say something about a pale elf? Aren't all elves pale? It's like the Shy says.
Are they?
I thought so.
Oh, Plains elves ain't. Oops, sorry.
Yep, you're on the door.
I know.
I got you. There you go.
Thank you.
You can use arrow keys if you're stuck on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a very empty room.
So fucking empty.
When you say this is a very empty room, Catraxia rolls her eyes at you.
In this case, I'm determined to figure it out without her. So Mordecai is going to, God damn it, Alexia.
I'm just going only as far as the library.
I will try to look around the room. Should I roll something?
Sure, yeah. Make
Wait, is
a
Proxy going?
perception or investigation check.
Huh.
Can I
Turns
make a
out you can
perception as well?
also.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are you doing?
Trying to see if I see any strange things that changed since we all did or most of us did the challenge in the room. The library looks unchanged.
We should still be back by the others.
The others will be here soon enough.
So you guys are the two. Greg, were you gonna roll too? There
Yeah.
it is. Okay. I thought I said you could, but I didn't. I'm not sure if you heard me. Okay, so 2 16s, pretty good. The two of you kind of come to the conclusion at the same time. You guys move around the room, looking around like the walls, the floor, and then you both look up at the ceiling. And on the ceiling there appears to be a map, but it is not a drawn out, one-to-one sort of map, but it's a map. You put it together. The words are in regular demonic. They're not in high demonic, so Mordecai, you can read them at first glance. There
Okay.
are 8 terms. Let me see. Let me make sure that's correct. There are 10 terms. 10 terms. And they are laid out in a particular order. So you're going to have to write this down. Somebody will. Because there's no diagram I can give you.
Okay.
No
I'm pulling up a notepad.
no copy I can give you, or anything like that.
Hit me.
And don't hold it in your hands. First one is the entryway. The
Is it a term or?
It's a term. Yeah, it's one of the terms.
Okay.
The second one is Hall of the Unseen.
Okay.
The third is Maze of the Damned.
Okay. I don't like that.
The fourth is Blood from Marble. The fifth is Dance of Blades.
Alright.
The sixth is Final Banquet.
Okay.
The seventh, right, 7, is The Reach. These are structured in a line, as if one must proceed through from one to the other.
Okay.
Okay. There are 3 that are not on the line. They're separated.
Okay.
One of those is the Library of Madness. The next is what translates to the Bone Chewer Den.
Oh, good.
The literal is Hunters of the Steps of Despair. And the last one is the Coward's Path.
Alright, and that's Adventures Den, the Hunters of the Death Despair. Okay, got it. Okay. I think I get it. Mordecai is going to read all of this. Notice the line and the order, the things that are not on the line, and say, oh, well.
What you got?
They're instructions.
All right, instruct us.
We have to do a few things in order, and there are a few things that are not in order.
All right.
I don't know if those need to be done or if they do not, but the order so far is the entryway. We've done that. The Hall of the Unseen. We have done that. The Maze of the Damned, which I can only imagine is right around that corner. Then the Library of Madness, which of course we have found, very maddening library, is not on the line. We didn't even have to brave that. But after the maze, Blood from Marble, then Dance of Blades, Final Banquet, The Reach. I suggest we check out the maze and we continue to be quiet and not use magic.
Right. On your 6.
Depths of Despair. I might have misspoken.
Ah, apologies.
No, it's fine.
I got Depth of Despair too.
It's okay. Probably the same place. They're probably... Are you okay?
I was in the wall.
Oh no. You take 46 bludgeoning damage as you become one with the wall. I'm kidding.
Oh shit, oh god, no.
There are actual rules for that, though. Just letting you know.
I know.
You become one with the wall.
Be gentle with me, DM.
DM, please.
But yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna roll something now.
Shit.
Greg is not letting you go alone this time.
Thank you, Greg.
Everyone stay within sight of each other. In fact, perhaps we should be able to see each other from each crossways so that we have a way out.
So, I'm gonna pause real quick right here.
Oh no.
Shit.
You want 8...
Perfect pause.
I am going to roll 8 times. These are all luck checks. You want me to roll high. Okay?
Alright.
Everybody good with that? Or do you want to participate too? Do you want to do some of them? Or do you want me to do all of them?
I don't like touching the dice, so you can roll mine for sure.
I'm just trying to see if you guys feel like you've done enough rolling. So if you
No,
You
I can
want-
always roll more.
okay, well, do you want to roll all of these, or do you want to share them?
I want
Okay.
to roll at least one. I'll roll at least one of them.
Okay, so you roll one of them, Praxia. There's a d20.
So, just d20.
Just d20.
Oh. Cool.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Oh,
Could have been worse, technically.
yeah.
Yeah, the worst would have been me.
All right, so
Patience, get out of my way.
do you want to roll some of these, Greg? There are 7 left to roll.
Hey, perfect.
Those are pretty good. Okay.
Don't know why it rolled 2.
Still,
Not tell it to.
that's 3 out of 8. Anyone want to roll some?
Oh,
Hey.
roll.
Yeah, that's 4.
I'll roll 1.
Why it always do this?
5,
Yeah.
6, 7.
That should have counted as a 20.
Bruh.
Bruh.
We're doomed.
Okay. One more. This is the last one. Alright, so Greg's is the last one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay.
It rolled over higher. Because of Praxius.
Alright. Yeah, proceed. Yeah, I will do all that to you, and then I will tell you to proceed.
I will mention to Mordecai we probably want to go forward and not toward the scary creature he warned us about.
There's a small pathway back here. Everyone be very quiet.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna phase these 2 through walls.
Oh, there's a corner right there.
I'm gonna kind of peek around this hallway here as I go.
Is there anything in the corner here? This strange nook.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
I was in the middle of moving. I think I'm
Oh,
good now.
Trying to get here? Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to get here.
Alright.
Oh no!
That's
Let me
just
refresh
that's just a map artifact. So it's just
Okay.
Those walls are connected.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll let you be like within 20 feet of there if you want to be somewhere over here.
I'd be closer to Zed then. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be over by Edelweiss.
Oh,
Alright.
where's Crow? Do we have Crow in here?
Yeah, Crow is by Catraxia. You should have control of Crow. You should be able to see him. He's right here.
You paused it.
Oh, there he is. I
Yes.
can't see him when he's around the corner unless I'm selecting him. Actually, let me. You did pause it. But
I did pause it, but you can deselect yourself and then click on your other token if you have another token.
I see.
So,
Nice.
3 of these creatures that you can now see into their den 3 of these creatures are in fact awake. And one of them is kind of staring right at you, Mordecai. It's like within lunging distance. Ben, as you come around the corner, you see one phase through the wall, looking at you as if it knew you were there all along. And back here, Ed and Praxia, one phases through the wall as Ed, you're passing by, and Praxia, you're coming up on it. Unfortunately, we won't be able to finish this combat inside of 10 minutes, so this is where we will end the session for the evening.
We can't just go for another hour.
No, unfortunately. I do have to sleep at night sometimes.
Damn.
Yeah, me too, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, we'll pick up here next time, and, yeah. I hope you guys had fun. I hope, it was a good time for everybody.
Indeed, indeed.
And everybody who came out to the stream, I hope you donated some points to the war effort. We got a whole month for this particular phase. I might extend it a little bit because you can only donate 2K a session, and there will only be like maybe like 5 or so sessions within the 30 days. So we'll I might extend it a little further. But anyway, you all have a good rest of your evening and stay safe. And see you in 2 weeks for this game. And next game for The Blaze of Cruelty is on the 1st. So it'll be a little bit before our next Blaze of Cruelty. But actually, it'll be a little bit for our next In the Heart of Rage. It's 3 weeks to the next In the Heart of Rage. So I do get like almost all of next week off. And all of the week after off, which is kind of nice. So 12th for In the Heart of Rage, and the 26th for In the Heart of Rage. 1st and 22nd for... No, 1st and 15th for Blaze of Cruelty. And our first session of Door of Eternity is on the 15th of June. So,
Crazy.
Crazy, yeah. So come out for that. And that's pretty much it. Hope everybody has a good night, and see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.